Hello and welcome to a fresh episode of your daily dose of corporates and markets. You're watching Corporate Central. I'm Shrestha Tiwari. Over to the day's big corporate stories. First up, in another controversy surrounding the Adani Group, the Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation, that is IRCTC, has countered Congress General Secretary Jairam Ramesh's tweet on Adani acquiring a ticket platform Trainman and said that it will not be a threat or a challenge to the IRCTC. Trainman will only complement IRCTC, and Trainman is one of the 32 authorized business-to-customer partners of the IRCTC, and the Adani Enterprises taking it over will not change anything, is what IRCTC has said. Ramesh tweeted saying that a first competition with IRCTC and then a takeover. In more news, Adani Transmission is expected to achieve financial closure of 1,700 crore rupees being raised for its Mumbai transmission line project by July end. The funds would be used to set up a 400 kV substation and transmission lines in Maharashtra. Further, the Adani Group has initiated talks with international investors to sell a stake in its NBFC Adani Capital. The process of divestment just began a few weeks back and it is at initial stages. Bharat Petroleum Corporation, which has exercised the right of first refusal in a bid to take control of bankrupt Videocon Oil Ventures Brazilian assets, BPCL's overseas arm BPRL Ventures BV and VOVL's Videocon Energy Brazil had acquired oil blocks in the South American nation as joint venture partners, but they could not develop them due to ongoing bankruptcy proceedings against Videocon Industries and its subsidiaries. Lenders have received BPCL's offer after they decided to sell 3 of the joint ventures assets to Brazilian gas operators Eniva SA and Petro Rio last month. BPCL, which has the right of first refusal, decided to make an offer, proceedings from which would be used to repay VOVL's 30,000 crore rupees bank dues. Banks had made claims against Videocon Industries for 63,000 crore rupees, which includes VOVL's dues. Anil Ambani's power generation company Reliance Power has 2 updates for the day. First, Reliance Power has settled the 925 crore rupees debt with banks of its UP subsidiary RoFR Power. RoFR Power paid its debts 2.5 years before its maturity. Last year, Reliance Power raised 930 crore rupees by selling 15% stake to Singapore's Warde partners. This amount was to be used on behalf of Reliance Power for debt repayment or restructuring for banks. The second update also relates to Vidarbha Industries, another subsidiary of the company. Reliance Power has increased the offer to lenders of Vidarbha Industries for settlement of debt to 1,260 crore rupees from 1,200 crore rupees in May. Reliance Power has improved its offer to counter the offer of a CFM asset reconstruction. In March, CFM had offered 1,120 crore rupees to the lenders of Vidarbha Industries, which was increased to 1,220 crore rupees in the first week of June. Besides, NARCL or Bad Bank had offered 1,150 crore rupees in April. Vedanta Resources has to repay a debt of $2.2 billion in the current financial year, and the company is relying on measures like brand monetization, refinancing and transfer of general reserves to retained earnings to keep up with the schedule of its repayment obligations as per media reports. The total debt falling due on Vedanta Resources in the financial year 2023-24 is about $4.2 billion. The company has already paid $2 billion in the first quarter. The remaining $2.2 billion includes principal requirements of $1.3 billion and interest or intercompany loans. A big portion of the $1.3 billion is a $1 billion bond due in January 2024, the report has said. Industry giant Tata Steel is planning a consolidated capital expenditure of 16,000 crore rupees for its domestic and global operations during the current financial year, according to its top management. According to agency reports, out of the planned amount, Tata Steel has set aside 10,000 crore rupees towards standalone operations and 2,000 crore rupees for its subsidiaries in India. The company's CEO and MD TV Narendran and Executive Director and CFO Kaushik Chatterjee have said. Banks are planning to conduct a forensic audit of the accounts of cash-strapped GoFirst Airlines, which is under insolvency, to assess if there was any diversion of funds. Meanwhile, the Adani Group plans to pursue a legal battle against US engine maker Pratt & Whitney for its inability to deliver serviceable engines over an extended period. While the Adani Group accepts that the chance of reclaiming GoFirst may be slim, it has committed to remain steadfast in its legal pursuit to seek damages from Pratt & Whitney. In addition, more cases could be filed in courts across the US and in India. EdTech startup PhysicsWala will invest 500 crore rupees in Kerala-based hybrid learning platform Xylem Learning over the next 3 years to acquire a 50% stake. The deal involves the purchase of fresh shares and a part of the stake held by Xylem's existing investors in cash and stock. A portion of the investment will be towards enhancing the learning models of Xylem, and this is the latest in a series of acquisitions made by GSV Ventures and Westbridge Capital backed PhysicsWala over the last 1 year when it bought UAE-based K-12 online and offline learning startup Knowledge Planet. It has also acquired companies including iNeuron, Altis Vortex, Prep Online and Freeco. In a latest development, SEBI has told the Securities and Appellate Tribunal that Zee Entertainment Enterprises Chairman Emeritus, which is Subhash Chandra, and Managing Director Puneet Goenka had diverted public funds to private entities. The tribunal last Thursday gave SEBI 48 hours to file its reply to a plea filed by the Zee promoters challenging the market regulators' interim order barring them from holding directorships or key managerial positions in listed entities. Further, market regulator SEBI, in its reply to SAT on Zee's plea, has called for urgent action against the promoters in the alleged fund diversion case to safeguard the management, investors and the other stakeholders. From corporates, now moving on to those stocks that were trending today and also analyze the reason behind it. First up, power transmission and distribution structures manufacturer Skipper Limited had seen an upper circuit of 20% on Monday and touched a high of 172.80 rupees during the day, a 5-year high for the stock. The reason behind this bullishness is the new orders received by the company worth 1,135 crore rupees. In fact, the company has received orders totaling 1,135 crore rupees for design, supply and construction of new transmission line projects from Power Grid Corporation of India. These orders include supplies for tower and pole export. Export supplies will be done to countries such as Latin America, Middle East and North Africa. Let us also tell you that the company's total orders book is of 4,500 crore rupees and it aims to double its revenue to 4,000 crore rupees in the next 3 years. Shares of Shriram Finance rose 7% in early trade on Monday. The stock reached nearly 52-week high because the 52-week high is 1,509 rupees and the stock touched an intraday high of 1,500.90 rupees. The reason behind the huge surge in Shriram Finance stock is a trading of about 99.2 lakh shares in the first few minutes. The block deal, which was priced at 1,401.15 rupees per share, exchanged 2.65% stake in the company, valuing at 1,390 crore rupees. According to media reports, TPG India sold its entire stake in the block deal. Shriram Finance's profit in FY23 was up 122% to 6,020 crore rupees from 2,721 crore rupees. And brokerage firm Yes Securities believes that the valuations of the stock are quite cheap, especially as per the estimates of FY25, that is in the next fiscal. There is also a possibility of a re-rating of the stock if the growth in AUM and asset quality continues to improve. Titagarh Rail shares rose as much as 6% on Monday. On June 19, the stock touched an intraday high of around 482 rupees, which was the stock's record high. In the past 1 year, the stock has registered a return of nearly 400% or nearly 5 times. But despite such big returns, the reason behind the big surge in Titagarh Rail stock is the cheap valuation, which is understood from the report of brokerage house Antique. In fact, Antique has initiated coverage on Titagarh Rail with a buy rating and has given a target of 694 rupees at a premium of close to 63% from June 16 closing. In other words, the stock is up 63% and has room for upside according to Antique's report. Antique believes that the company has developed a manufacturing setup that is difficult to replicate. Moreover, the company has the potential to increase its turnover to 9,000 to 10,000 crore rupees in the next 5 years. Shares of state-owned mini Ratna company Mishra Dhatu Nigam rose as much as 12% on Monday. The stock has jumped nearly 80% in the past 1 year, and Monday's rally touched a high of 293.75 rupees, which is the stock's highest ever level. The reason behind Monday's purchase is GE's upcoming technology transfer to the company for jet engines, and this technology transfer is very important for the company as it will help the company's indigenous engine program. PM Modi's visit to the US is scheduled for June 21st to 24th, and during this visit, the deal to build F-414 jet engines together with GE and HAL for military aircraft may be signed. The deal will not only be beneficial for HAL but also Mishra Dhatu, as it is working with HAL to manufacture jet engine parts. That's all on corporates and markets tonight, but before we go over to some important corporate events and triggers which can potentially make big market impacts. First up, on June 20th, impact of SAT order on Z petition against SEBI to be felt in the market. Pre-IPO lock-in period of Aben Holdings and Landmark Cars ends on June 20th. IPO of HMA Agro opens with a price band of 555 to 585 rupees, and Blue Star's record date, ex-date for 1:1 bonus falls on June 20th. And globally, US to release housing data for May on June 20th. That is all tonight on Corporate Central, but catch all the other detailed updates from the corporate world and other major updates on personal finance on Money9's website in our all-new avatar. Log on to www.money9.com and check it out. That's all from me. Keep watching Money9.